Hello, people. It is, I don't know what day it is. Just know that we're still in December. So, welcome to my video and my channel. My name is Kaya, for those of you who do not know me, and this is my life. The holiday special. Today, I'm going to be talking about my December TBR and my November TBR and the books that I read and my reviews on them. So let's get into it. So these are the November books that I read. As you see, tabbed and everything. Yeah. Okay, so first one that I read was Flock. I did post probably 2 videos about the Ravenhood trilogy on my TikTok. This is it. I had some words to say about this series. I rate this book a good 4.7 out of 5. Very specific. Okay, so Flock is about Cecilia. After graduating high school, she moves into this small town. I forgot the name of the town. Do not come for me. She moved into this small town with her father to stay with him for a year while she goes to community college out there and works in his refinery. And on her first day at the refinery, she meets Sean. Sean is the absolute ball of sunshine, golden retriever that you know and love. He gives off playboy vibes, and Sean is just very lovable, very adorable, you know. And so Sean invites Cecilia to a party, and Cecilia's there. She's having fun. She's drinking. She meets Tyler. Let me just tell you, Tyler is my favorite already. I absolutely love Tyler. I have a sweet spot for him. I cannot get over him. That is when Dominic gets a hold of Cecilia. Dominic is also the roommate with Sean and Tyler and Jeremy, I'm pretty sure. And Dominic, he is your morally gray character. Man has a past. They all have a past, obviously. He is very dark, very brooding. He has that glare that, you know, everybody is very much so afraid of. And yeah, so later on in the book, Cecilia, she is dating Sean, and they are falling in love with each other. And Sean is kind of keeping a couple of secrets from Cecilia, but we don't know what it is. The only reason why we do not know what it is because the book is in one POV. Things progress, and Cecilia finds out that they are in a group, an organization of sorts, and they basically steal from the big companies that are stealing from the people, and they give the money back. So it's a Robin Hood retelling. Cecilia also starts a relationship with Dominic while she is with Sean. All I can say is the raft scene. The raft scene is really what had me. It was hot. It was hot, and it was wet, but it was an amazing scene. Probably my utmost favorite scene is the scene or the chapter of the book where Dominic and Cecilia spend the entire day together. It's a rainy day, of course, and they spend it reading books and eating takeout and just doing other things and reading more books. The book, all in all, was good. I raced through the book in less than 2 days because it was getting really good. They had me on the edge of my seat, and I needed answers, and I did get answers. So after Flock, I had more questions, and so obviously I went to go buy Exodus because I was like, no, I'm not gonna let that slide. So I read Exodus. I'm pretty sure you guys have all watched that one scene in Twilight Eclipse, New Moon. Eclipse, New Moon. It's one of them. I went into this book very blindly. All I did was look up TikTok reviews, and they said that the book was absolutely amazing. It is absolutely amazing. but it is also absolutely heartbreaking. I'm a changed woman after this. This book, I rated it 5 stars. 5 stars across the board. My number one question was, who the fuck is the Frenchman? I got my answer. The Frenchman is not the one, the only Tobias King. Tobias King is Dominic's older brother. He is also the leader of the Ravenhood. He basically owns the small town, if we're really being honest. Tobias has a very dark past, like Dominic, obviously, because they are brothers, and he was there throughout everything. Tobias raised Dominic and Sean, and then later on Tyler. So in this book, Tobias and Cecilia, they're more like enemies. They absolutely hate each other. You have a necklace that comes into it, and he's wondering who the necklace came from, and she's like, it's none of your business, and he gets mad about it, takes the necklace, she slaps him, they kiss. And I'm like, what? So second of all, I'm pretty sure they're in her room. He's invading her space. He's literally showing up to her house any chance that he wants. She locks the doors. This man can get in. He also knows how to redo the security company thing. I can't think of the words right now, but the man is getting in. He's everywhere, and they absolutely hate each other, but there is something there, and I do not care how much they want to deny it. There is something there. I knew that there was something there within the beginning part of it. At first I did not like Tobias, but then Tobias started growing on me like he grew on Cecilia. I'm telling you guys, the mess in the first half of this book I was eating it up. It's like, I don't know if anybody else saw it, but I saw it, and they saw it, and they were with each other. And some of the most jaw-dropping, heavy hitter lines Tobias said was to Sean and Dominic. They had showed up. One day, Cecilia and Tobias, they're in the garden, and they're about to do the do, and Sean and Dominic show up out of nowhere. And I felt like I was betraying them, because I'm like, okay, I'm falling for Tobias myself, and I'm absolutely loving this man. And the next thing you know, while I'm over here loving the scene, Dominic and Sean show up, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't do this. I feel like I'm really hurting my babies. I was hurt when they showed up, just like Cecilia and Tobias were hurt when they showed up. I'm telling you guys, I immersed myself into this book. Like, that's how much it had me. It had my attention. I read this book in a day and a half. Less than that, actually. I stayed up till 5 a.m. 2 mornings in a row just to finish reading this book. And let me tell you guys, Sean and Dominic were really hurt. And what Tobias told Sean or Dominic, I don't even remember. Don't ask me the plot. Just know I remember big parts. Was that he said the minute that Sean and Dominic started sharing Cecilia was the minute that they lost her. Let that sink in for a second. I could not say anything. I was speechless. Oh my God. And turns out Dominic can love. He loves Cecilia, but we're not gonna get in that. For the people who said that they absolutely loved chapter 25 and said that chapter 25 was amazing, chapter 25 was beautiful, very beautiful, heartbreakingly beautiful. Chapter 25 was just, it had me speechless. It broke my heart. How could you love a chapter like that? Like, I'm thinking, oh, chapter 25 is going to be so cute. They show back up. I'm like, oh, chapter 25 is here. It's reverse harem. So I'm thinking maybe she'll get all 3 of them. But then again, Tobias is not one to share. So I should have known that was not going to happen. I cannot re-speak those events because of how heartbreaking that they are. Cecilia is trying to win Tobias back. She shows back up in town after 6 years, after breaking off her engagement to a man that was pretty amazing, and he was British. I have a thing for men with accents. Yes. Tobias absolutely hates that she's back in town, and he's trying to get her to leave again. Is she leaving? No, she's not leaving without getting Tobias back. Did she get him back? No, she did not. She left without him. But the question is, what happens after that? There's a third book. I will have an update about the Ravenhood trilogy when I read Finish Line. But these books, I absolutely love them. And I honestly think that they will become my new personality trait. So the next book that is on the list of what I read in November is Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. I rate this a 4.5 out of 5. I absolutely loved it. Can we talk about Jack? The man is very loving, very protective, supporting, while also being very hot. When I saw this cover, I was like, he looks like a more muscular Milo from Atlantis. He looks like this guy, but without the glasses. More muscular, more modern, with tattoos. And he is probably one of the book characters on my dream man list. He got Elsie out of her people-pleasing problems. And honestly, that is probably a man that I need in my life. Love Theoretically is about Elsie. She's fake dating Greg. And Jack doesn't really like Elsie because he sensed that something is up and he's trying to figure out what's going on here. Why is she so suspicious? Get a good feeling about this. What is this? Next thing you know, Elsie is interviewing for her dream job. And turns out that Jack is one of the people on the hiring committee. And this is where the plot just gets so good because he's like, well, who are you? I thought you were a librarian. He's trying to just piece the puzzle together, and he has all these assumptions that he's jumping to. Next thing you know, after Jack figures out what's going on with Elsie and his brother and everything like that, Jack and Elsie start dating. Trust me, it's not cheating or anything. Like I said, fake dating. And Jack just wants to take Elsie on a date. Turns out the man was in love with her the whole time. I just love when a man is pining. Can we talk about that? Like, man, it's so fine. It's just so fine. All in all, the book was amazing. Yes, I feel like Elsie's family was just steamrolling over her. A lot of people were steamrolling over her. Me and Elsie, we go along really well. We have King of Wrath. He was absolutely hot. Dante Russo, I'm talking any day, any hour, any time, any second. No protection. How many times back to back he wants, he could get it. This is a book about Vivian and Dante. They are in a marriage of convenience. Vivian's father is blackmailing Dante with some information to marry his daughter in a arranged marriage. Dante's very cold, very rude, and he doesn't really want to be around her and nothing like that. She doesn't want to be around him either, but she's his. She's Dante's, and it's crazy. I can't really remember much about it. I'm just telling you, this book had me giggling, kicking my feet. One thing that I can say to really describe this is just take the biggest, broodiest, dark, morally grayish man you know, make him a businessman, and then put him on his knees. Let me just tell you, there's something about a man in power on his knees. On his knees. A man of power on his knees. That just scratches the most perfect part of my brain. And he did that. He got out of the blackmailing. Vivian found out about the blackmailing. And she left him. Go Vivian. Round of applause for her. Okay. He groveled. And she did not forgive him off the bat. She did not. And I love that for her. Because there's something about a man that grovels that I just absolutely love. Did he win her back? He sure did. But did he grovel? He did. Therefore, I give King of Wrath, I'm going to say a good 4.8 out of 5. Last but certainly not least, the book that I read to close off November and kind of open up December, because this was a very slow read for me, was Normal People by Sally Rooney. I am absolutely speechless from this book. I have no words. The book was beautiful. It was very eye-opening. Usually books call me out, but this one literally knocked on my fucking forehead. It was like, bitch, this is you. This book follows Connell and Marianne. They meet in, well, they've known each other in high school and everything like that, and they start having a relationship under the wraps though, and it follows them throughout the years in their relationship of breaking up but staying friends, meeting other people, having relationships with other people, breaking up with those other people, being with each other, breaking up, just so on and so forth. There were times where I read the book and I had to put it down because I'm like, whoa, like this is a little too much. It's a little too real. Their story is probably one of the most realist stories I have ever read in reading history for me. It's just so raw. I rate this book a good 4.8 out of 5. November was a good month, actually. So let's get into my December TBR. I actually already finished one of the books that I was supposed to be reading for my December TBR. This is She. We also have three maybe books on the list. We have 2 that I have not bought yet, and we have 1 that I've already owned. The first book that is on my December TBR is Love, Holly. She had a loss in her family in the past, and she's a part of this group that has pen pals, and they send letters to each other. And one of Holly's people that wrote a letter is trying to gain a relationship with a person in their family. Holly realizes that a place that the person mentioned in the letter is a place that Holly knows, and she's going to try to get them together and everything like that. And next thing you know, Holly finds the person, and it turns out that the person is a guy that Holly has met before, and they have sparks. It's like a serendipity type of feeling. Next up, we have In the Holidays by Christina Lauren. My predictions for this book are that Maisie is going to end up finally telling Theo how she feels and finally talking to him and everything like that, and they're gonna fall in love. My next book on the list is Love Like Farms. I read it, tabbed it, loved it, annotated it. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I don't know much about this book. Next up, I have Icebreaker. I also don't know much about Icebreaker. I'm pretty sure somebody said that it was a reverse Grumpy Sunshine type of deal. If He Had Been With Me is actually a maybe on my list. It's not the actual book on my December TBR. But what is actually on my December TBR is You've Reached Sam. Next up is Always in December, One Day in December. Honestly, my predictions with that book is that some hearts are going to be broken, but some people that I want to end up are going to end up together. These are my reads for December, and I really do hope to get through them so I can tell you all about them. I will see you in the next video. Love you guys lots, and hope you have a good and frozen day with hot cocoa.